Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here, coming at you from the Knife Center, and I see a lot of knives in my day job here. So what do I actually give to people when I'm picking out my Christmas gifts? All that and more on the return of Knife AQ. This is episode 194 of the series where I answer all your questions, sharp or dull. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the series. As always, we got Thomas behind the camera over there.
Hello.
And if you are new to this series, what we do is we answer your questions, and we get those questions from the comment section below this video, and other FAQ videos that have been posted. So if you yourself have a question and you would like it to be considered for your future episode, drop it in the comments below. This episode, probably the best one. Starting off today with Human Most of the 464.
I'll go out on a limb and say alien.
Probably. Definitely human, he says. Sounds Ferengi. I would be curious to see your Christmas knives, meaning the ones you bought or the ones gifted to you for Christmas. I actually don't really get gifted knives too much for Christmas. Because I think most of my family's figured out that I know more than they do when it comes to knives. It's always really hard to buy a gift for someone who's incredibly invested in a particular niche subject, whether it's knives or, my brother-in-law is really big into bicycles. I'm gonna have a hard time picking out a good bike accessory that he would even want or would even work for his setup, whatever it happens to be. You get what I mean, I think. But I have bought a lot of knife-like objects, knife stuff for folks. I've got a few here in front of me that I've kind of returned to more than once. These are kind of like my most gifted knives. And I always say this: you can just about never go wrong with a Swiss Army knife. You just can't. And what I especially like are the KnifeCenter exclusive red ALOX models that we have, the Pioneer X and the Bantam ALOX. Very slim on the Bantam, a little bit more robust on the Farmer X. And this is a good 1-2 pairing here to choose from, depending on the individual getting it. You got something a little more basic with the Bantam right here. You've got a single blade and the combo tool. So it's very slim in the pocket. You can turn flathead as well as number 2 Phillips with the corner of this right here. You can open cans and bottles with this unit. It does both. You've got a wire stripper notch there at the base as well. It's a handy little unit. And the price on these is relatively affordable too for what you're getting here. About 27 bucks. The aluminum construction here is definitely nicer than the typical red plastic handled Swiss Army knives out there. Nothing wrong with those either. I've gifted those as well, but this is just kind of a step up. This is the Farmer X, is a bit more expensive. It is about $74 now. And this is a great option for anyone who you think might appreciate a little more of a robust tool, because it is that. The aluminum's thicker, the blades and implements are a little thicker. It's also a great option for folks who want to take outdoors, or folks who will spend time outdoors. You know what's funny, Thomas?
We'll see.
I intended to pull the Farmer X, and I've been saying Farmer X. This is actually the Pioneer X in my hands right now.
Well, you've been flipping between Pioneer and Farmer.
So basically my mind is all over the place. I apologize for that.
A lot of Pioneers ended up being Farmers, though.
So the Farmer X has the same things you see on this Pioneer X, but it also has a wood saw, which is nice. But what do you got? You got a blade. You got a scraper / poker right here. You've got the cap lifter, which does flathead driving and the wire stripping notch there. You've got a can opener, a little bit more effective, or a little bit more easy, I should say. Effective might not be the right word. A little easier to use for some folks than the combo tool on the Bantam right there. Smaller flathead that also works on Phillips there at the top as well. And then the X part, which differentiates this from the standard Pioneer, is the pair of scissors right there. Always a handy little thing to have. These are great tools that make great gifts. In both of these cases, I have gifted them together with this pen right here, another KnifeCenter exclusive. This is the Techliner Shorty. Comes in on sale right now for $33. It is a Mike Bond design. It is small. It is red. It goes nicely with either of those knives. It's not the same shade of red, but it goes nicely with it. The cool thing about this though is the cap. It's magnetic. And functionally, does that do anything? Nah. Is it fun and satisfying? Yeah, very much so. Uses, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, does this use a pressurized cartridge? I can't remember. Pardon me, folks.
Find out live.
Yes, this is a pressurized cartridge, Schmidt Megaline 4889 medium point black. But you'll be able to swap out other variants of that if you wish. The cool thing about pressurized cartridges, there's various pros. For instance, you can write in zero gravity.
That's likely.
The way it does do that, but the thing that's really like the functional cool thing about pressurized cartridge especially is it doesn't matter what angle you write at it or you write with it at. I hate myself for that. You can write at any angle with this, and it's not going to the ink's not going to stop the way a typical ballpoint can. That's a great thing. Other things, I have gifted small flashlights all the time. I picked this one out today because I have gifted Olight i3Es before. Not this snowflake themed one, but 'tis the times, 'tis the season. These are cool. They're not the most advanced flashlights on the market these days, but they are stone dead simple and reliable and very affordable too. Like all of these things, the $75 Farmer X might not be a great stocking stuffer, might be a little too expensive for that. But all of these other things are kind of sitting at price points that could be a good stocking stuffer. But this light comes in $13 right now. Single AAA for the power, 90 lumens, just enough to kind of get you around in the dark. It's a simple twist on to get the light, and that's it. Like I said, stone dead simple. Olights are made well. The aluminum here is finished nicely. And you got the snowflakes for the era as well. These next two, I haven't actually gifted these yet. Well, actually, I do have another one I have gifted. The Rescue Me keychains. As you folks know, longtime viewers of this channel, I should say, have probably heard me mention this before. It is a great thing to carry on your keychain when you're driving around. You've got a spring-loaded window punch and a seatbelt cutter built in right there. I have bought several over the years, a couple for myself because I've worn one out before just from living on a key ring for a long time. I've given a few of these as gifts as well. Always a good thing. Now, these next two things I haven't gifted yet, but like I said, I have my eye on them because they're very cool and priced quite well. The first, well, you see I've got a Zippo right here. We do carry a ton of Zippos. I think we've got like over 100 different versions in stock right now. They're like $16 for this classic candy apple red Zippo. That is a cool item straight off the bat. If you're the kind of person, or you're giving to the kind of person who doesn't light too many fires or doesn't smoke, what are they going to do with a Zippo? Well, I have this here to show you. The bit holder, which can replace the standard Zippo lighter insert with this bit driver / holder right here. It's $13. Comes with 4 standard 1/4-inch drive bits, which means they can use these. If they want to swap it out for something else, they could, or different sized bits, they can do that. And it's just really cool. It's also really cool. I always think of like how many folks out there who don't smoke nowadays or have other ignition sources, but they have like granddad's old Zippo laying around collecting dust. Just they're never going to get rid of it because it's nostalgic, but it doesn't do anything. That's a cool thing that could go in something like that. It's $13. It's a very cool item. The other thing I'm considering kind of bringing into the knife stuff that I like to gift. Take your pick, honestly, of all of the cool utility knife blade holders that are out there nowadays. I picked the James Brand Palmer with the clear coral handles here, simply because it matched the coloration of the rest of the stuff on the table. But this is a cool one that has a design sensibility that may not appeal to like rugged construction worker type folks, but this is a very friendly box cutter. It has a design sense that would appeal to a really broad swath of people that are more hip than Thomas or I would say. Simple to use too. Brings the slider brings the blade out quite easily. Easy blade changes. Simply move to the center position. The cool thing about this material is you can actually see the internal workings, and that lifts the retention pin out, and you can simply slide a blade in and out super easily. These are about $40 for these polycarbonate versions, or PCTG. Is that polycarbonate? I don't know. Plastic versions. Aluminum versions are available, but they are more expensive. If you want to get an idea for some other utility blade knife holders that we do sell, we did a video kind of shooting out all of them a couple months back. We'll leave a link to that as well. So I hope that answers your question, Mr. Human.
Sure you are.
Next, we're going to start our segment called Damyr's Buried Treasure, where thanks to a question he posed several episodes ago, we're going through the alphabet of brands that we carry and showing a brand that has never been featured on the channel before. Today, we're on the letter M. And because there's a lot of M's on the site, I've got 3 for you today. I think it's the first time we've done 3. The other reason is there's a ton of stuff in the M category that could make good Christmas gifts, and we're kind of in that season. So the first is Marksman. Slingshots, baby. There's a standard one at about $14. This is the Laser Hawk 3 with adjustability built in. It's like $19.
Does not shoot lasers.
Does not shoot lasers. Or hawks. Don't shoot hawks. Don't do that. What kid who's responsible enough isn't going to love a slingshot? Heck, I would love a slingshot. I have slingshots. I enjoy them.
I've got stories about my father and squirrels.
I could tell you a story.
From last week.
If you ever meet me in person at a show, ask me about the slingshot and the raccoon sometime. I'll let you know. Those are cool. We got replacement bands as well for like $9 for a pack of those. It's pretty great. The next is Merkur. They make several high-quality safety razors. In fact, we don't often get a chance to showcase shaving products on this channel from any of the brands we carry, and we do carry a good selection of premium shaving products. You can check out the shave section on the website. We'll leave a link to that below. Great gift item as well. This right here is one of the more expensive Merkur knives. These are made in Germany. This is the number 70 Futur. It is an adjustable safety razor. The blade pops in here. You simply remove the head, place the blade, pop the head back into place, and we'll see if you can we can make it so you can see this. If you adjust the handle, it's going to move the head up or down, which is going to adjust the amount of flex that the safety razor blade has, therefore adjusting the angle at which it shaves your cheek. Very cool premium feature. Not all of the Merkurs are at the $70 price point though, or $80 price point. They start, got one on special right now for $32, non-adjustable. We've got a mustache and eyebrow trimmer razor for like $20. It's pretty cool. Yeah, plenty of options to choose from there too, so take a look. And then the third M for today is Mikihisa. Probably not pronouncing that correctly. This is the Moroha Japanese folding knife. There are 2 versions of this on the site. There's a double beveled version right here, and there's a single beveled right hand marking style blade. This is kind of like a big, what's the word? Kiridashi.
There you go.
Like big, large Kiridashi type of thing. $58 for the double bevel version right here. The single bevel version is about $45 normally. Got a big 4-inch blade, Japanese blue steel, so carbon steel, of course. Fairly simple construction. You've got standard laminated wood handles right here and a kind of rudimentary lock back with the tab there on the back. Kind of an interesting thing. Not going to be an EDC choice for most, I would say, but for folks who appreciate Higa no Kami style knives or other Japanese types of things, culture, and etc., this could be a good option too. There you go, check it out. And that's it for that. Now we are on to the lightning round for today. First question is from Kevin Stryker 6440. Hey DCA, I was just thinking about legacy knives. What do you think is the one knife that has stood the test of time best? Also, do you think it should have a modern iteration if it doesn't already? The 2 that immediately came to mind, I know you asked for one. I got a folder and a fix, the Buck 110 and the K-bar, the Mark II fighter, the 1217, the classic K-bar here. Both of these certified icons in the knife world. Do they deserve, well, two-part question, and this is where I'm going to throw to the comments. Do you think, A, they have stood the test of time? Is there still a place for these in the modern day and age? And two, do you think it deserves, did I say A first?
C.
Number one, does it do that? Letter B, does it deserve a modern interpretation? And Roman numeral 3, no. I don't know where it's going with that.
You had a third one, though.
I had something. Well, what I'll say is, while the companies themselves actually have done modern iterations of these knives, both K-Bar and Buck have done, modernized versions. I especially like the Buck 110 Sport series. We didn't have one on the shelf today when we were filming, unfortunately, but we'll hopefully put some footage of it in there. I would say, however, that other companies out there have already done the work apart from Buck and K-Bar themselves. Like how many, Buck-like things and the evolution of that size and pattern have there been over the years? Check out, we did a Beat the Icon video on both of these knives. I would check those videos out for some of that history, some of the competition that has, done a bit of that modernizing already. There you go.
Imitation being flattery and all that.
What he said. Next question is from Lordy's. Knife AQ, I am getting a friend a knife. The only problem is he has a baby on the way. Are there any baby-proof locks that lock closed? As Thomas and I can both tell you, currently being the fathers of some young ones, very in the sub 1 year old range right now, there ain't no such thing as baby-proof. Like, not really. Nothing.
It's a really high shelf.
Yeah, it's really high. Yeah, haven't put it up high. Yeah, the thing is, like, if you make a better lock, nature's gonna make a better baby. Or yeah, I might make a better baby. Who knows? It could happen. I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. I'd say if the friend you're gifting the knife to is worried about the baby being able to open the knife, I'd say they don't have a good grasp on how to keep a knife away from a baby. Maybe. That sounded a little harsh. I didn't mean it to, but like, if the person themselves is hesitant about having a knife because they're worried about it being around the baby, maybe they're not ready to be carrying a knife in that sort of scenario in general. Push comes to shove, the best I can think is honestly maybe a Swiss Army knife or other kinds of classic slip joints. Like there's a lot of dexterity needed for a baby's not gonna be able to get into one of these. They might chew on it, gnaw on it, get some little baby juice in there, but anyway.
Those Jack Wolfs have some really strong lockbacks.
That is very true. That is very true.
Slip joints.
Slip joints, yeah, I knew what you meant.
Back springs.
Back springs. But yeah, there's We Knife Company at one point did have a knife that had a combination lock that locked built into the body that locked it closed. But I don't think the response was very good to that because I don't think that they've never brought that to production. Or if they have, I haven't heard about it.
I think I saw it once.
Yeah. It was so good at what it did. They shipped the samples to the team at Blade Show that year. It arrived like that morning. By the time we got to the booth and saw it, it had just arrived that morning or the night before. And the rep at the our good friend at We couldn't even figure out how to get it open because they didn't send instructions with it. So if the adult couldn't figure out, the baby probably would. Anyway, hope that helps. Congrats to your friend. No, it sounded like I was shading him. I didn't mean to. Sorry for that if that came across that way. Next question comes from Donovan Kreischer. Hey DCA, my brother is a firefighter / EMT and I'm looking at getting him a knife, but I'd like to keep it under $50. What are your recommendations? I would go with some kind of rescue knife, and right now, I would go with the Kershaw drivetrain in that price range. Normally it's about $56. Right now, as we're filming this, it is on sale for just under $45, so it's a good time to grab that. 3.2-inch D2 blade, very useful, adaptable shape with the straight clip point here at the end. Not really a rescue blade shape per se, but more of a generic blade. Generic meaning neutral, not boring. Now the rescue portion of this knife comes in here at the back. You've got a pop-up cutter right here. Should work fairly well on straps, seat belts, clothing, that sort of thing. It's blunt on the end here so you can get in under something and can just kind of drag it along what you're trying to cut. And on the back side, you've also got a window breaker or glass breaker. All things that many rescue knives typically have on a very affordable platform with a very useful shape. Hope that helps. Well, now we come to our final question of the day, which is, of course, our most serious question of the day, which today comes from Ryebread704. Most serious question. What knife do you suggest to make coffee with? Well, good news. I have some options for you. First of all, you're going to want to get yourself an AeroPress. Available here from the KnifeCenter at the links below, including the new clear version, in addition to the translucent smoky gray, which is still available as well. You're going to want to get this. Now, check this out. If you don't know what an AeroPress is, it's pretty great. They work very, very well. They're super simple, and they're made in the USA. That's cool too. They come with this stir paddle right here. So once you've loaded your grounds and the water into the brew chamber right here, this is designed to sit in and not go any further than that. So it has the depth built in. Stir up the grounds, do all that. So we need something that's going to approximate this right here. I have a few options that we're going to test out in not actual. I'm not actually making coffee here, but the Kershaw Strata Cleaver is an option. Big 4-inch blade, and it's about, if we could go any longer even, it might be even a little bit better, but we're going to work with what we got here. Good shape. Should work pretty well, I think. If you're filled to the max here, you're definitely going to be getting up to around the pivot area here, which doesn't bode well for these others because they're even a little bit shorter. That's about $60 on sale right now. We've also got the K-Bar Mark 98R. Interesting option right here. It's got the right shape. You're getting a lot of that pivot into a full canister or a full chamber though. $30 for that knife, $42 for this flat iron cleaver from Gerber. Same thing. Now, I have a conclusion. If you're wondering what it is, this is it. The Strata cleaver, while it has the most length, I'm gonna eliminate that one because 2 reasons. D2 steel for one, which is not a stainless steel. It's only a semi-stainless steel. Acidic environment like coffee, probably not the best thing for it long term.
But think of the patina.
It could be good. You could get something good going, but I don't know if you want that iron-like flavor leaching into the coffee. I don't think that's what you want. Also, ball bearings in the pivot. I don't want to dunk those in water too much. So the Kershaw is out. Sorry, fellas. Between the other two, the Gerber, we have got what steel? 7CR17. So nothing cutting edge, but a very stainless steel, very tough. The advantage here is washers in the pivot, no ball bearings, so that's a plus. Also a very easy to clean mechanism overall because you're gonna get some coffee grounds in there. You can rinse this out super easy in that case. The K-Bar, what are we dealing with there? 5CR stainless. So again, similar stuff, not a super high edge retention steel, but it is very stainless. You've got a coating on it as well, which should help even more keep it self-contained. Little bit harder to clean out. You've got washers in the pivot instead of the ball bearings, which is nice, but you've got a liner lock, which could trap coffee grounds in there a little bit more readily. So the winner is going to have to be the Gerber flat iron. If you're going to make any knife with coffee, or if you're going to make any coffee with a knife, let it be this knife right there. I hope that helps.
Or a southern grind.
Oh yeah, you could always do a southern grind, but that's I'm trying to think. That would be like the prep process, like how you get the beans to this stage first.
90% prep at that point.
It is true. Like as with everything in life, so much of it is about the prep work. Anyway, that's all we've got for today, folks. Keep the questions coming. Keep your most serious questions coming as well. If you want to get your hands on any of these knives, well, shoot, actually, first, if you have any alternate suggestions for folks for these questions we've had today, drop those down in the comments. Drop your new questions down in the comments as well.
Your old questions.
Your old questions that we haven't answered yet, and you can ask why I haven't answered your question yet. There's a lot. We can't answer everyone's question, unfortunately, but leave them down in the comments just the same. If you want to get your hands on any of these knives, check out the links in the description that will take you to KnifeCenter.com, where in addition to our new Sezzle payment options, letting you break things up into 4 easy payments if you like, we've also got our long-running Knife Rewards program still in place, meaning you can earn some free money to spend on your future purchases. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center. That's Thomas behind the camera. See you next time.